Good afternoon, Ma'am De Guzman. I introduce my group. This is called Cordillera Group. Type of dance. Number one is Balangbang. Balambang is Dakan Kanaay live in Western Mountain Province, Northern Benguet, and Southeastern Ilocos Sur, and are part of the Filipino indigenous group known as the Igorot people. They are one of the largest tribes that religions, and like most Igorot ethnic groups, built sloping terraces to maximize farm space in the rugged terrain of the Cordillera. Therefore, most of their income comes from tilling the fields, but they are also into mining since the territory yields lots of minerals, particularly gold. Hunting is also practiced by the people with the use of spears and dogs, while fishing is done with the use of bamboo traps. The women are said to be the best weavers in Benguet province. History. The history of Bayangbang. History of Balangbang. Bayangbang came from Pangasinan word Balambang or ways. The story went that a Spaniard was asking us native the name of the palace was, and without fully competing what was asked of him. The, lat- the latter pointed out to his ways and responded by saying balangbang. Another story states that it came from the word kuling bangbang, a plant that grew abundantly in the area during the pre-Spanish times. Still another account suggests that it could have came from the word bayangbang, which refers to the scarecrows used in dividing away birds that feasted on neighboring pa- palace. Costume. Cordillera costume. The Igorot this attire is used by the tribes in mountain province of the Cordillera Range called Igorots. They have their own unique costume that makes them distinctive from other tribes in the Philippines. This costume reflects their way of life, cultures, personalities, religious practices, and rituals. Igorot costume is very simple. The men wear long stripes of handwoven joined cloth called wains.
This is the Talip Dance. Introduction. According to the National Library of the Philippines, Talip is a dance done after a courtship dance. The man lures a woman with an attractive blanket to place on her shapely shoulders. The Ifugao celebrate the intanig or wedding with the festival dance called Dinuya. In the presence of pamumbaki drinking ceremonial wine, the bride is dressed with the dong-dong and the groom with the honored kango on their heads. All of these events culminate in the dancing of Talip, hence the name Magdadaran Talip Festival. Portraying the rich culture of the Isnags, the dancers of Karasi, themselves true descendants of the stronghold tribe, shall depict the Talip, along with the Tada and Sarigsig, two other interesting indigenous dances of the town, in their significant uses in the lives of the tribe's people, along with the romantic love story of an Isnag hunter and an Ilocana as they journey through the rituals of courtship and marriage culminating in a tribal celebration. History. Magdadaran Talip is an Isnag phrase which literally means gathering for a dance. To the Isnags of Karasi, Ilocos Norte, the ritual of the dancing is an unifying means to express a collective feeling of the people toward a significant event in their lives. Jubilation following the birth of a firstborn child, courtship and marriage, thanksgiving for a bountiful harvest, after pananguman, and panaganop or hunting or hopefulness following a healing ritual. Costume. This is a ceremonial dance performed by a couple. The female dancer is wrapped around a multicolored ceremonial blanket. The woman is wrapped around while the male dancer carries around a large red cloth. His movements are bold and big. The man struts in all directions of the stage. He even gets down to the ground. There is a lot of technical floor work associated with this dance. The male dancer is supposedly mimicking of a fighting rooster.
Production. Patong is originated in western municipalities of mountain provinces. And these are Besao, Sagada, Tadian, Bauco, Sabangan, but it is performed anywhere. The version in Eastern Mountain Province is Patong. Male as gong player. It could be five or more and the female is the dancers. And it range from one or more than 10 dancers. History. Patong is a bontok war dance that perform tremble, the strength, courage of the hunters, warriors, and preparing to attack their enemies. Also, patong is performed as rain dance in central Bontok to ask their god Lumawig to send rain from February to April. And these are the costume. Men are wearing bag and holding a gong. And for the women, they are wearing also bag for the lower. And for the upper is long sleeve, thin fitted, loose sleeve. References.
Tek. Tarektek is a traditional dance in Benguet, originated dance from the Cordillera region. It is a mimetic dance. Mimetic dance means representation of art and literature of real world. Tuloy tayo. Is a mimetic dance of courtship in which the woodpecker's mating dance is imitated with a color blanket used as a prop. It is a Benguet tribal dance and a courtship dance where two female tarektek try to get attention of the male by brandishing their blankets to display affection. History of tarektek. This is a dance in the Mountain Igorot dances genre. It originated in Benguet where Mount Data was inhabited by woodpeckers known as tarektek. The tarektek dance gave birth to these wild and colorful birds. One Terektek male manipulates a colorful tribal blanket symbolic of the iridescent plumage of the birds in this dance, while the other beats playfully on a brass gangsta reflecting beautiful bird calls as they compete for the attention of three Terektek females. And costume of Terektek dancers. All of the people who dance this region are wearing a colorful long shirt and with a bandana on their head. They also have a blanket for swishing that represent beautiful plumage. Snap ra.
Ang ingay. Turayan tribe. Gandang origin from Cagayan Valley. Introduction. Gandang comes from the word ga meaning heat and dang meaning burn. The Gandang live in the middle of Cagayan Valley and speak a language similar to Ilocano. Most of them converted to Christianity and those who live alongside Christianized Ilocano groups have more or less adjusted to settled agriculture of mixed crops. Small and scattered group in Southern Asia, Kalinga, Eastern Bantok, and Isabela region retain their indigenous region and practices within agriculture. The cutting back and burning of existing vegetation to produce tem- Uy, huwag kayo maingay. Temporary farming plots. with supplementary hunting and fishing. In this dance, that gandang imitated birds attracted to tobacco trees. History. The gandang are an indigenous people from the area of Solano in the province of Nueva Vizcaya in the region of Cagayan Valley, also known as Region 2 in the Philippines island. The Gandang tribe was first discovered by the Spaniards in the early 16th. An early Spanish report written in 1581 identified them as one of the 10 tribes in the mountains of northern Luzon. Costume. Gandang woman's attire include the tapis or skirt, a lengthy piece of cotton cloth worn around the waistline down to the knees, and a long sleeve, round neck, collarless and waist-length blouse. Gandang male is the G-string which is held by a girdle whose fluff in waiting on the head of beaded tassel. Talis. Upper collarless short garment also worn together with head headgear chips. They are found of wearing seed bears around their heads, necklace, and wrist. But glass bead and precious stone and metals are especially prized. Their arms are never without bracelet made of bread and precious stone and metals. That's all. Thank you. Next.
Ano?
Ako sunod kay Ritwalo.
Ah, Bendian Victory Dance of Benguet. Introduction. This dance is performed during celebrations of tribal victories. The Bendian dance, some called it Bendayan or Bindian, is a circle dance that is long known as a dance to celebrate the arrival of successful headhunters. It is a part of every Benguet festivity, with the circles slowly giving way to other formations and interpretations. The circular movements of the dance symbolizes unity and harmony among the people of Benguet. History. Lasting until the wee hours of the night, the Bendian ritual ends on the loudest uwe or war cry. Bendian originated hundreds of years ago in the Benguet region of the Philippines. It was performed as a celebratory dance for Ibaloy people for successful lead hunting excursions. Bendian Bendian is performed for many reasons, some of which are to heal a prolonged illness, relieve natural calamities such as famine and drought, and to celebrate a bountiful harvest. However, the biggest Bendian is to celebrate a victory in war and successful headhunt. Costume, kambal, long sleeve jacket of Abel Iloco or Ilocano weave with broad stripes of blood red, bottle green, blue, black, and white accented with strips of checkered cloth. Aken or divet is a knee-length wrap around skirt of same material as a jacket. Donas, cloth belt secure the cloth belt to secure the skirt in the waist. Headband of Abel Iloco is is a coin necklace or seed bead necklace. Tabbing or gold earrings. Anas or bracelet. Sol.
Follow up. Bumaya. Bumaya. The Bumaya is an Ifugao dance of thanksgiving to the god Kabuanyan. In this dance performed by both men and women, the movements mimic those of roosters scratching the ground. This joyful dance serves as a prayer of thanksgiving for a bountiful rice harvest. History of Bumaya. Bumaya is a traditional dance from the mountain regions of northern Philippines. It is also an Ifugao dance of thanksgiving to the god Kabunyan. Thanksgiving festival are one of the many occasions for tribal celebration. The movements in this dance of Ifugao tribes, imitating those of a rooster scratching the ground, symbolize a thanksgiving prayer to the god Kabunyan for a bountiful harvest of rice. Both men and women express their joy in this thanksgiving. Uh, the costume used in Bumaya. For men, wano, red dark blue stripe, gamong, blankets, sash drop on one shoulder, uh, ginutut, carabao bone belt, pinukla, tasselled side back toggle on the G-string, kango, bamboo or rattan headdress adorned with hornbill, skull, and feather. Pangalapang, mother of pearl necklace. For woman, lama, white sleeve blouse with red trimmings, tolge, strip warp skirt, botong, cloth belt, white with side pom-poms. Music plays in the Bumaya, gansa, flat song, and libit drum.